Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes, welcome to a brand new episode of the A Cup of Soda podcast. Oh, I miss saying that. I always do. Sometimes I rehearse it in my head. I'm weird. But, today's going to be a topic, a little philosophical topic. Well, I don't know if it's philosophical. I think it is, but I don't know. To each their own. But today's topic is forgiveness. It's something that I should probably mute my phone. Sorry, guys. Today though, I forgive this. I forgive the interruption. Okay, I kid, I joke, but yeah, today's episode is about forgiveness and about kind of my journey in terms of forgiveness. Man, I don't even know how to start it. I guess we could start with the definition of forgiveness. The definition of forgiveness is a philosophical consciousness and a decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person, a group who have harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve your forgiveness. Now, to kind of simplify that even more, is basically letting go of the feelings of anger and resentment. I guess that it's the best way to explain it is letting go of those feelings, and even if they've wronged you. And it's something that I've struggled with a lot. I'm a person who holds grudges because I couldn't understand why people did what they did, and why try to hurt someone who cares so much about them. And so it was just that feeling of anger and stuff like that, and I felt like if I let go, I was kind of letting them win, and that's kind of the mindset I had. But now I look at it and I'm like, wow, I was so petty. And I get it. I get the pettiness, and I just shouldn't have been petty. Hold on. I love drinking my soda. Yeah, I'm having my cup of soda. It's not in my normal glass, so don't worry about that. Anyways, another thing I kind of want to get into is owning up. I'm gonna own up to my lashing out. I shouldn't have lashed out. I shouldn't have made a big deal about it to everybody. I regret that. I'm ashamed that I was so angry and I talked about it and stuff like that, and I was just I was so bitter. I was so bitter because I'm like, wow, you wronged me. Fuck you. You're awful. And I wasn't being super empathetic about it. I wasn't being I was just seeing it as, you wronged me, fuck you, instead of yeah, you wronged me, but that isn't just you. It's a combination of things, or a lack of communications, or just we're at different points in our lives, and we all have our struggles and our demons, and kind of sometimes that can clash, and it's just not great for anyone. And that's why I think it's important that we forgive and kind of not forget. You're allowed to feel what you felt and feel it till whenever. But I mean, what I mean by it is, like, you accept everything that happened as a part of you, but to not let it consume you. And that's something that I struggled a lot with. And I mean, this podcast is clear. The earlier podcast, I was so bitter. I was so angry. I was, honestly, when I made my podcast, that was the worst time to do the podcast because I was at one of my lowest points, and having it kind of recorded in a sense, is embarrassing, but I don't want to ever get rid of it because I want it to be like a timestamp of like, this is how I was, this is how I felt, and how angry I was, and this is me now, and this is where I am in like current times. What I think we need to all talk about is like, do they deserve your forgiveness? I don't know everyone's story. I don't know what the person has done to you or what's happened that they deserve your forgiveness. Most of the time, most people don't deserve your forgiveness. And I know that sounds like, what? But what I mean by they don't deserve forgiveness is, some people want you to forgive them so they feel like they didn't do anything, or it wasn't bad enough that they could do it again. Some people take advantage of other people, and it's something extremely shitty, and that's just how our world is. It's a really gross place. But don't forgive the person for them. Forgive it for yourself. And if you want to forgive them for them, you can do that too. I've done that. I forgave for myself, but also for them, and I hope they forgive me. And that's kind of how I'm seeing things now. Is they can do the worst, or they can do whatever, and I have to learn how to just let it roll off me. I have to be like, wow, wow, that was shitty, but whatever. They're going through their own stuff, and that's kind of how I was seeing it. Like, I was seeing like, oh, they're just going to hurt people. You know, that was always the saying, but I feel like you can only use that excuse so much until it becomes like you're just excusing at this point. Like, you're just saying that just so they can continue. I'm just like, no, you gotta take responsibility. And I gotta take responsibility for lashing out, for making it a bigger deal than it needs to be. Not to say that I regret everything I've done up to this point, because I don't. I don't regret calling out people who need to be called out. You know, I will always stand up for myself and other people because that's just who I am. But I'm not going to try to be this trying to like make everything be okay, if that makes sense. I'm not going to let people just walk all over me, and I'm not going to bend over backwards for everybody. And it took me a long time to even forgive myself with that, because I'm going to do this for you, I want to do this for you, I want to help you, I want to do this, and I still do that because I generally do like helping people, but I'm not going to always do it because I need to make sure I'm okay. And I know I can ramble and stuff like that, but one thing I do really want to talk about is like, I forgive pretty much everybody. So, everyone from my past, if you're even listening, I don't think half the people that I would think are listening probably don't listen. I don't know. But if you are listening and we've had a crazy whatever, I just want to say I forgive you. I forgive you for you, and I forgive you for me. I didn't like it. Honestly, the negativity was really getting to me. The fighting back and forth, the constant arguing, the constant trying to explain and prove you wrong. It wasn't healthy. Trying to prove myself to people who are whatever, it's just not it. It's just not me anymore. Like, I'm trying not to make this a drama channel, Like, well, not even a drama channel, a drama podcast. But, like, yes, I did try to start this podcast for drama. Not drama in real life, just YouTube drama, like celebrity drama. Like, that's kind of what this podcast was supposed to be. But it kind of became a journey of, I guess, self-discovery in a sense. And topics that I find important, or topics that I just want to get out my chest. And I hope you guys can forgive me for the crazy topics that I just randomly have. I want to have guests on the podcast, and so I feel like having guests on this podcast and having people to talk to will kind of like, I feel like it will open my horizons a little bit more and have grander conversations I feel like a lot of people will really enjoy. And I want to have my friends on the podcast. I want to have people I care about be on the podcast and just talk and stuff and, whatever. So it will happen, hopefully. I can't make any promises, but I do hope that will happen soon. And this podcast episode is going to be a little short. And I know it's been like a month since I posted, and so sorry, I took like a month off. I needed to like do my own shit. But we need to fucking forgive ourselves. We need to forgive our good, our bad, our ugly, our insaneness. We need to take a moment to step back, look at everything. If there's something you don't really like that you've done in your past, don't like now, fix it. And that sounds so like fucked up, like, what? But when I mean fix it, I don't mean like just snap out of it. Like, that's just not how reality works. But really get to know yourself, get to know those inner parts of yourself. Try therapy. If you can't afford therapy, try things online, find books, read up on it. I don't know. But only you can make yourself feel better. Only you can change yourself. I spent the last whole year fixing myself. Fixing parts of me that I don't like. Fixing the negative parts of myself. The parts that are like I said, vengeful, bitter. I was super bitter. But I was bitter because I was like, why? But I'm not bitter anymore. I don't care anymore. I talk about it because it's fucking like a crazy story, but I haven't had drama in the past almost a whole year. Like actual drama. And it's because I try to stay away from like that stuff. And honestly, that's what actually made me feel so much better. I stepped away from like what wasn't good for me. I don't even want to use the word toxic anymore. It was so gross. Like, I was looking at old stuff and I was saying toxic. I was like, I was misusing the word toxic. not even misusing the word. I was overusing the word. That's the better saying. It wasn't that I was misusing it, because there were like actually like toxic people, but I overused the word on just other things that like that doesn't make people toxic, and so I'm sorry. And honestly, I was also like so blind. I was like, I have like real friends now. It's like, no, no, sweetie. Not you being blind, not you still not recognizing toxic. But now, truly now, like I'm starting to see, like, I'm starting to like, I'm like more aware, and I feel like because now I'm more aware, I can I can finally feel peace. Um, I don't I don't miss people like I used to. I used to miss the crap out of people. I used to be like, I want to be around them. I miss them so much. I want to see them. I care about them, and I hope they care about me. And it was like, whatever. But now, I don't care. Like, obviously, I care about people, and I hope they care about me. Like, that's something like I hope. You know, it's a it's a mutual thing. But I'm not trying to cling on to anybody, and that was my problem. Was being clingy. And because I was clingy, some people didn't like that, and so I have to just kind of accept that like that was me. It's not me anymore, and I'm starting to like forgive myself for that, because I understood where I was coming from, and even though it wasn't great, it was not pretty at all. You know, that it happened. That was me, and I hope people can see me as someone different. Like, but honestly, everyone's gonna have a different version of you. Some people see you in your best. Some people see you in your worst. So it is what it is, and you just kind of have to live with that, and you have to forgive yourself for those versions of you. No one's perfect. No one's going to be perfect, and I understand that. Like, I've always understood that no one's perfect, but no one's going to be you, and you can't expect people to be like how you see the world. You can't expect everybody to see the world like that. And so I just want to say, like for real though, like, we need to forgive ourselves. There's so much trauma in this world. There's so much bullshit that happens in this world. And we all need to be a little nicer to ourselves and to others. And as I said before, I forgive everybody. I forgive all the hurt. I'm sorry for being so bitter. I'm sorry for being so angry. I just want to say, like, I love you guys. I love everyone. Even the people who don't deserve my love, I love them. I hope everyone finds happiness, and I hope everyone feels better. I want us all to thrive. I don't want anyone to suffer more than anyone's suffering right now. So please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in another episode. Kazoon tight.